Hey guys, I'm Matt. I'm production manager here at E.C.D Automotive Design, and I'm here to talk you through our Range Rover restoration process. First thing, we have to find a donor. Most of the vehicles that we build here, unless supplied by an owner, are long wheelbase 1995 NAS spec Range Rover Classics. So customers seem to like these a lot because they, as I said, long wheelbase. They give you a little more backseat leg room, so you can put your kids, in there for a trip. But they're becoming increasingly harder to find and in increasingly worse condition. So what we typically do is we'll source donors from all over the country, ship them over here, and then they go through a very detailed teardown process. Unlike our Defenders, which are able to use many new and upgraded parts, there's not much of that for the Range Rover Classic. So when we tear down a Range Rover Classic, we effectively have to catalog every single part, every single fixing that comes off the vehicle. Most Range Rovers have several spots of rot just from their age where water collects. So one by one, because there's not many body repair panels available for these, we will one by one replace these with new metal. So that process starts with sandblasting the entire body down to bare metal, putting it in an epoxy-based primer so that it doesn't corrode, and then we go one by one to each rotted area and we replace it with new metal, and usually stronger than it was originally. After that, we send it to the other side of fabrication where we strip the metal and sand the metal, and then apply undercoating, bed liner undercoating to protect it further from the elements. And then after that, it goes to the paint shop. In the paint shop, they basically have to find all of the spots that require any body work, any skim coat. They repair all of those spots, and then the typical model that we do is two-tone. So it's an all-day paint process. Once the body is prepped, primed, blocked, and seam sealed, we will put it in the booth for an entire day, mask it in 2 separate layers, and then do 2 separate colors, typically two-tone with whatever the body color is, and black on the A post, B post, C post, and D. After that, after everything comes out of the paint shop, the body goes over to the first bay, which is the roller bay, onto a lift, and we delicately lower it onto the chassis, which usually has an upgraded engine, such as an LT1 or an LT4, or our proprietary E.C.D Gen 2 electric powertrain. So once we've lowered that body onto the frame, we make sure everything's aligned, squared up. We put new body mounts in and new fasteners, fasten the body to the frame, and then it rolls up to cosmetics. Typically in cosmetics, the first step that we complete in cosmetics is we're going to carpet, we're going to sound deaden and carpet the entire interior. So once we've carpeted the entire interior, we can start adding windows, windscreen, and doors, door tops. And then once we're done with that, we work our way in and we install seats, we install audio system, install all the electrical, the dashboard, and everything that we can upgrade is upgraded, and everything that we can reuse is refurbished piece by piece and reused. Typically the front end comes last. You put the hood on, final out the hood, final out the front bumper, and then it'll roll out and get photos taken of it. A lot of these vehicles, some of those things that we refurbish, just because their age will fail, so they have a bit of a longer QC process than Defenders, just for that reason. But by the time that we've QC'd them and drove them 500 to 1,000 miles, usually everything that's going to fail at that point has failed, and we're able to reliably ship it to a customer in a more reliable state than it was originally. The original Range Rover Classic, all of those things failed, and they're typically failed when they come in as donors. By the time they leave us, we've fixed all of those. So I think a lot of the charm that, that brings people to them, not a lot of people in the world still build them. Because of that lack of availability of donors, that lack of availability of parts, it becomes a very variable restoration process that can either take not a lot of man hours or a lot more man hours than you plan for, and there's not a lot of companies that are willing to go through that anymore to create a gorgeous end product. We still do, and we always will.